It's a new season. We've got a new format, but we still have the best bowlers in the world. The 1998 PBA Tour begins today on ESPN. We're in Brentwood, California at Harvest Park Bowl, where a very spirited crowd is gathered for the finals of the Brentwood Classic. It's been a very competitive week, but 5 bowlers will compete today for the first title of 1998. 29-year-old Ricky Ward from North Fort Myers, Florida, will meet another Floridian, 33-year-old Norm Duke, in our first match. 28-year-old Jason Couch finished third this week. He'll be after his first title in a couple of years. 43-year-old Tom Baker from Buffalo, New York, is our second-place qualifier this week. And waiting in the wings, our top seed, he bowled here in the title match last year, 34-year-old Parker Bohn III. And hi, everybody, I'm Mike Bush, and welcome to another year of the Pro Bowlers Tour on ESPN. The PBA Tour kicking off its 40th year of competition this week here in Brentwood. It's been a week of very high scores, and let's bring in the PBA Hall of Famer and my partner, Marshall Holman. And Marshall, it's also been a week of comebacks.
Well, it certainly has, Mike, and let me be the first to welcome you to the broadcast team here on ESPN. It has been a week of some great comebacks. Norm Duke, he was in 21st place yesterday at the... He made a strong comeback, and I believe the reason he was able to make that kind of comeback is he's a versatile player. He knows how to hook the ball. He knows how to play the ball going straight. He knows how to handle things mentally. When he gets it going, he's extraordinarily dangerous. Norm Duke, he's ready to win Title 14 here today in Brentwood. Our other comeback story is that of Tom Baker. Tom Baker, the 43-year-old veteran from Rochester, New York. He started in 24th place at the start of match play. 8 games later, he was in 6th. He made the move from 6th all the way to 2nd yesterday, and he's definitely ready to win. He wants to win this tournament. We'll see how it goes as the play progresses.
Okay, Marshall, thank you very much. And as I mentioned, our first match features 2 Floridians. Ricky Ward from North Fort Myers, Florida, 29-year-old left-hander, against one of the most consistent winners on tour from Claremont, Florida, 33-year-old Norm Duke. We're bowling on lanes 17 and 18, and this week, Ricky Ward had a 226 average on these lanes. Norm Duke averaging 244, and the 1998 PBA Tour is underway.
Well, Ricky Ward starts out with a great strike and a smile. Now here comes Norm Duke, our first look, and the people love him. You'll hear him go Duke, Duke, Duke all day long as he's out here. Very talented player. Had a little trouble in warm-up, so we'll see how he responds.
He is after his 14th title. He was the 1994 PBA Player of the Year, and
well, Norm got a little distracted on the first shot. He's going to have to learn, Mike, that distractions are a part of Pro Bowlers Tour right now
with this new format.
Now, no distractions with that strike. A great shot. Just barely got the 10-pin to fall late. We're all tied up after 1 frame. We'll take another look at Norm Duke. Look at that style. A little bit of a hop, but the ball was already gone. Watch the 6-10 as it kicks out the 10 just barely.
I was talking to Norm about this new format with the crowd cheering the entire time, and I asked him if it might distract him, and he said no, he thinks it'll pump him up.
Well, if he gets things going, if he can start out with a double here, but look at the ball slide. It never picked up the proper roll. He liked it off his hand, but wasn't able to get the ball to pocket.
Norm Duke.
We'll see that little bit of a hop again. He's wishing the ball back up in the pocket. Right now, he knows it's not going to get there. Well, he'll get up, make the spare. Send it back over to Ricky Ward.
Norm Duke is 5'5", 123 pounds. He could be a jockey.
Well, it just goes to show, Mike, that size really doesn't make much difference on our tour. Ricky Ward, another short man, a little bit stockier than Norm Duke, but we have short, tall, in between, all sorts of sizes out here on Pro Bowlers Tour. And a great double to start out the match for Ricky Ward. Very important to get off to a hot start. He looks good. He looks like he's pretty darn confident early in the match. He wants the people to be louder.
This is a guy who started bowling in the youth leagues in Fort Myers, locked onto the sport very quickly, and just worked his way up through the ranks. He told me he loves this new format.
Ooh, the messenger just goes right in front of the 7-pin. Ricky Ward, a player that, as I've said in the past, is not extraordinarily flashy, but gets the job done and is not afraid to throw the strikes when he needs them. We take a look at the pin action. You can see the head pin go in front of the 7. No problem making that spare.
Ricky Ward, the 1991 PBA Rookie of the Year, and Norm Duke down 9 into the 3rd frame.
Well, he made a good shot here in the 1st frame. Got the 10-pin to fall out at the last minute. Needs to start striking and leaves the solid 10 that time. Actually, looked like a better delivery than he had in the 1st frame, but not as good a result.
Well, as we were watching him in the warm-ups, you said he was struggling.
He was having trouble. As you watch the 6-pin wrap right around the 10-pin, leaving that solid ringing 10, he didn't seem to have command of the lanes the way I know he would like to. And he stuck with this ball throughout most of the tournament. I'm surprised he doesn't have another ball to go to. Norm Duke, a player that can throw the big hook or the straight shot. He's opted for the straight shot. He tried to hook the ball a little bit in practice, but was not able to get it back.
Norm Duke working on a spare into the 4th frame.
Still trying to feel himself around this pair, championship pair of 17 and 18 here at Harvest Park Bowl. Came in light last time on lane 17.
And again.
And virtually the same shot, Mike. He liked the way that ball came off his hand. It just is not picking up a roll in the back end. He leaves a difficult 2-10 split. He'll throw the ball fairly direct and hard at this shot. You can see the ball just not quite getting up to the pocket. Could have easily just left the 2-pin, but the 10-pin stands as well.
Norm Duke began bowling after his dad bought a bowling center back in 1972 in Mount Pleasant, Texas.
And too much of the 2-pin does not cover.
Wait, we got to fix it.
And so we head now to the 4th frame for Ricky Ward, and he leads by 23.
Florida. California, dude.
Indiana.
Jersey. Blue. Purple.
Red.
Green.
Curly.
Larry.
Mo.
Kemp. Brunswick. Brunswick.
Brunswick. Brunswick.
Agreed.
But they're all wrong about Shemp.
Some say winning isn't everything. Some say losing builds character. Some say it's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. Some say statements like these were made up by people who don't use ebonite equipment.
The Pro Bowlers Tour on ESPN is brought to you by Ginkgo. Sharpen your concentration with Ginkgo, the natural supplement. Think better. Think Ginkgo. Back in Brentwood, Ricky Ward heading to the 4th frame, up by 23 pins over Norm Duke in our first match of 1998.
Always a tough shot coming out of commercial. Let's see how he handles the pressure. It's a great mixing strike, and right now it just is very apparent to me that Ricky Ward has a better command of the championship pair, 17 and 18. As we take a look at this ball, watch it dive back to the right, mix them up, a little friendly action of the head pin.
Ricky's best finish in 1997 was a first at the Greater Detroit Open. And here this week, he's had a very consistent week. He was 16th after the first round, 9th after the second. He dropped to 18th after the third, but then it was 9th, and he climbed to 5th.
Oh, Great shot. Could have taken a 33-pin lead. With that spare, he'll stay 23 pins up, and that's a very, very good break for Norm Duke, who's trying to figure out the championship pair, but not having a lot of luck so far.
And Ricky Ward finishes off the spare in the 5th frame.
Norm Duke staying with that same ball.
Down 23 pins. 33-year-old Norm Duke.
All right, well, Mike, he's been able to hit the pocket on lane 18, has 2 strikes and that solid 10. Take a look at that pin action. That's just basically 10 in the pit. That ball was thrown perfectly. This is the lane that's given Norm trouble. He has to make some type of adjustment. Either slow his speed down, or he's going to move farther to the right on the approach and go more direct on lane 17.
He's been coming in a little light.
Very important shot for Norm.
And he got it.
And he got a great break, and he was surprised that ball didn't hook up even a little bit higher. That lane is extraordinarily tight in the back end, not getting the ball to hook up as good as he'd like, but was able to get the job done.
And as we were talking yesterday, Marshall, you told me that you think Norm Duke is probably better than anybody else at making adjustments.
I think he's the most gifted player on our tour, and look at the pressure Norm Duke puts on Ricky Ward. Ricky Ward comes up with the 1-3-7-9 washout. All of a sudden, this game can be very, very close, and is very, very close. You see the ball just got off to the left, never did make the break back into the pocket. Leaves himself a very makeable conversion, but difficult. Needs a hook, and a great conversion for Ricky. Keeps a little of that momentum, saved himself a lot of pins. He stays up by 9 pins. If he misses that spare, Norm Duke would have been put in the lead while sitting on the bench.
So Ricky Ward up by 9 as we head to the 7th frame.
Take another look. You see he gets just the right of the head pin. Slams that head pin right into the 7. Ball takes out the 3 and the 9.
Not quite.
Tried to get there, but a little bit of a soft 7. Now an 8-pin lead with a conversion, and Norm Duke is right back into the match.
Ricky Ward gets the spare in the 7th frame, but Norm Duke with a chance to take the lead when we come back.
Craig Deibler of Lancaster County Motors. The cold weather's here, and the vehicle you need is a Subaru. Above me is the Subaru Forester, the sport utility vehicle that drives like a car. Wow! Did you see how it handled that slick curve? And here comes the Outback on either side of me. Amazing. Hey, looks like they're headed for the slopes. Cool. So make the Subaru family of vehicles part of your family before the winter gets the best of you. That's not in the script, guys.
After this Mustang kicked out some rock and roll. After this Taurus took care of the family. And this Explorer took in its share of sunsets. They were inspected, road tested, and put through an extensive checklist and quality certified. And now they are ready for your inspection. Quality certified pre-owned cars and trucks. That's another plus from your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Welcome back to the Brentwood Classic. Ricky Ward and Norm Duke in our first match, and want to remind you that you can access all the latest information about the PBA Tour on the internet. Check out the PBA's new website at www.pbatour.com. The site, which is sponsored by Brunswick, features the latest tournament standings, stories, and stats, and coming soon, live chat with the pros. www.pbatour.com.
And Mike, I use the PBA internet site in order to update myself prior to coming down and doing the telecast. I want to see what's happening the first day or two of a tournament, and when I'm not on site, I dial it up.
Norm Duke working on 2 strikes.
The experienced Norm Duke. He's feeling it on lane 18. If he can get lane 17, if he gets lane 17 figured out just a little bit better, he could be unstoppable.
He has taken the lead up by 2 now.
Take a look at the way the 6-pin does the job on the 10-pin. Pros love to see that. Amateurs, too.
He's 44-38 in championship rounds. PBA computer rankings have Norm Duke ranked 3rd.
Here's his key lane. Will the ball hook? No, it did not. He's fortunate to get 8 pins, and he's still wondering, well, Norm, how come that ball isn't hooking back up the pocket? Yeah, he just barely got to the head pin. You see the way the head pin goes to the sideboard, knocks the 8 pin. He's wishing it back up there again, going, well, why? Norm Duke, a great spare shooter. No trouble. If he wants to win this match and continue on and have a chance to win the tournament, he must figure out lane 17.
And the match is even as Ricky Ward heads to lane 18 for the 8th frame.
Well, here's where matches are won and lost, Mike. Coming down the stretch, it's a tie game right now. Ricky left the washout on this lane the last time. Does he adjust to it? You better believe he does.
Ricky Ward striking in the 8th.
Right now, Ricky Ward has the opportunity to leave the game in his own hands. If he strikes here in the 9th frame, there's no way Norm Duke could shut him out. Or even right now through 8, Ricky Ward with the strike up in the 8th has the hammer.
Norm Duke looking on. Ricky Ward in the 9th.
And really a bad break. That's the kind of hit that normally would carry on Pro Bowlers Tour. That light hit, mixing the pins up. Another good break for Norm Duke, and I think he's thanking his lucky stars right now.
And I think amateur bowlers will know this too, that you can throw a good ball and still not knock them all down.
Well, that's one of the difficult parts about bowling, is that you really can make a great shot. As Ricky Ward almost misses the 10 pin.
No problem, he
says, hey, no big deal. I had it all the way. Norm Duke, he must strike on this ball to stay even with Ricky Ward. This is the lane that has not been giving him trouble.
Almost big trouble there.
Hits the pocket.
2 in a row,
The
man.
10 pin and the 7 were standing. Fortunately, the messenger knocked the 10 pin out. We'll take a look at the pin action. A little bit light in the pocket. Watch the headboard go to the head pin go to the sideboard. Come back, get that old 10 pin out of there.
The ball's right.
Norm Duke
He's leaving just the 7. He's down by 1.
down by 1.
It's getting like tighter.
And he got it.
And now Norm Duke has the very, very difficult task of having to strike out on lane 17. You know, I talked to him last night, and I asked him, how come you were so intense in the 10th frame? How come you didn't just throw it down the middle? All you needed was just a few pins. He said, Marshall, I wanted to get to 4th place because I wanted to have the decision to be able to start or finish where I wanted to. He said, Marshall, any kind of edge I can get, I want any edge. Well,
And he wants the crowd to give him some edge right now. And you can hear the crowd chanting, Duke, Duke.
He's got what he wants. He's able to finish on the lane he chose, but this is the lane he's been having trouble with. A little softer speed. And a great shot that just did not quite kick out the 10.
So the door is open now for Ricky Ward.
With a spare and a strike for Norm Duke, he can do no better than 202, forcing Ricky Ward to fill 19 pins in the 10th frame. This game is still not decided.
With a spare in the 10th.
Now important for Norm to get every last pin he can. He doesn't want to give too much room to Ricky Ward. Now to Norm's credit, he made the best shot of the match on lane 17 in the 10th frame. Once again, as you said earlier, sometimes great shots don't strike. That was the case with Norm.
And the pressure now on Ricky Ward.
Well, Norm's got the lane figured out now, but will he have a chance to bowl on it again? Ricky Ward will have the decision to make on that.
Ricky Ward heading to the 10th. Norm Duke rolls a 202.
A strike, he's a winner. He's a winner. Not so flashy, Ricky Ward. He knows how to get it done. He's not intimidated by the moment. And just a great shot. Look at that great arm swing. Tucks the ball in close to his ankle. Beautiful roll. And we'll take a look at how happy that made Ricky. He knows he's a winner. Just has to make sure he doesn't do anything too stupid here. Well, he gets 8. All he needs to do on this ball is just get one of them. If he gets one of these 2 pins, I think I'll go out on a limb and say that Norm Duke has done bowling for the day. Ricky Ward will advance to go against Jason Couch on the next match. Unless, you know, barring something absolutely amazing, it's not going to happen. He's your winner.
And so Ricky Ward finishes off Norm Duke in our first match of the day. Ricky Ward.
Good start this year.
Firing a 204, beating Norm Duke by just 2 pins. And the chance of Duke rained down here at Brentwood. But Norm Duke will watch the rest of the matches today. Ricky Ward moves on now to take on another southpaw, Jason Couch. And we'll have that match for you when we come back.
If your game is in the pits, your team feels like the pits, maybe, just maybe, it's the shirts.
1-800-PBA Tour.
Our shirts are the pits.
No problem. Shirts are on their way.
Now it's time to put some color on your team and more fun in your game. It's amazing what a bunch of strikes will do for you. So, now you too can look like a winner and bowl like a pro. Just call 1-800-PBA Tour.
My mind is less fuzzy.
Here's what real people think about Ginkgoba.
Ginkgoba has given me a sharpness and an alertness that I didn't have before.
I felt a remarkable difference.
Talked to my doctor about Ginkgoba. He said, take it, it will help your memory.
Clinical evidence shows the natural supplement Ginkgoba safely increases the flow of oxygen to the brain, sharpening concentration, mental focus, even helping to improve your memory.
Ginkgoba has helped me to think better.
I think Ginkgoba's helped clear my mind. It's just cleared the cobwebs out.
Think better. Think Ginkgoba.
You're so lucky. Not one gray hair.
When a woman can run her fingers through your hair and can't tell you blend away your gray, that's a natural-looking result. And that's just what you get with the hair color called Just for Men. Simply shampoo in, then rinse. In only 5 minutes, this unique formula blends away gray, actually matches your gray to your real color. So nobody knows, even close up.
I just love your hair.
Just for Men. It looks so natural, even she can't tell.
You think you've got a weight problem? Today's professional and amateur athletes live and sometimes die according to the scale. An all-new Outside the Lines takes an in-depth look at the recent deaths in college wrestling, anorexia among professional jockeys, and other athletes fighting the same battle many of us do. But for them, the stakes can be deadly. The Weight Debate, Sports by the Pound, on the next Outside the Lines, Friday at 8:30 on ESPN.
Back to Brentwood, California. We're about an hour from San Francisco, about 30 minutes from Stockton, California, and they welcome the PBA with open arms. Getting ready for our second match of the day. Ricky Ward defeating Norm Duke in our first match, and he'll now meet 28-year-old Jason Couch from Claremont, Florida.
Excuse me, Mike, that gentleman you saw Ricky Ward talking to, that's Rick Benoit of Brunswick. He's a ball rep, and he's there to make sure that Ricky Ward is using the proper ball in the proper fashion. It's very helpful for the pros to have the ball reps out there telling them what they think may help them, give them a little bit of an edge.
Jason had a terrific week this week. He was first after the 4th and 5th rounds, but he dropped to 3rd last night and was struggling a little bit.
Well, he had a little trouble, Mike, and he was able, to his credit, to get it back a little bit in the last couple of games, because for a while...
That's the mellow one, right?
Excuse me, we got Brian Purcell, that's Jason's coach. He's got a microphone on, so we'll be hearing comments from him. Jason was able to get it going last night when he needed it to make sure he didn't fall any further than the 3rd place position he ended up in. Interesting matchup. Jason Couch, a power lefty. Ricky Ward, a stroker.
He had a 214 average, and
Hook it, baby.
these 2 frames during the week, and that was the lowest average of any of our finalists. He struggled on these lanes.
He struggled on his lane. Actually, he averaged 186 for his 2 games, and so this was a difficult pair for him. But that, that was yesterday. They're not worried about that.
Block that out. And he changes balls for the spare. We'll talk a little bit about that.
The reason they change balls, Mike, is they go to a ball that has very, very little friction to it, so the ball will slide down the lane. Gives you more of a margin for error.
When I was talking to the PBA Hall of Famer Dick Weber this week, he was telling me that when he started bowling, that he would carry the same ball as Ricky Ward gets a strike in his first frame. His first couple of years, he used the same ball for 2 or 3 years, and now these guys will go from stop to stop with 10 to 15 balls.
Yeah, that was back when Dick Weber first started out in the 50s, 60s. He was using rubber composition bowling balls, and most of the balls were about the same back then, and you could use it for a number of years. And not today. You've got guys here drilling 4 or 5 balls every week to try and combat the conditions. For an early double, Ricky Ward in the second frame.
And he got it. He seems to be energized by the crowd, Marshall.
Well, and there's no substitute for having a game under your belt. He's already acclimated to the lanes, while Jason Couch is still feeling his way out.
Jason Couch, being a pro bowler, is the only job he told me he's ever wanted.
Yeah, he's good at it. And another power shot leaves the soft 7-pin. A very good shot, as I'm sure his wife Kelly and daughter Courtney are enjoying watching Daddy at home. Well, take a look at the pin action, Mike. Watch the way the pins are scattering all over the place, going all around the 7-pin, but not able to get over to touch it.
Jason Couch's dad bought a bowling center when he was 4 years old, and he said he grew up with 3 heroes: Earl Anthony, Mike Albee, and some guy named, let me think, Marshall Holman.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Sounds vaguely familiar. I guess I'm going to have to start being a little nicer to Jason Couch.
Oh, man. Get out of it clean. Get out of it clean.
He's down 11.
He's hit the pocket both times. Left the 7-pin.
Oh.
Now he leaves a solid 9, and there you see the power of a Jason Couch.
Nice shot. Excellent shot.
The ball showing absolutely no respect. As his ball rep, Brian Purcell, says, great shot. Watch the way this ball hooks through the 1-2 pocket and just totally avoids the 9-pin. He knows he threw a great shot. Doesn't feel very lucky right now.
And he picked up the spare in the 3rd frame. Ricky Ward working on a double. Ricky Ward told me to get him in the right frame of mind for the TV finals, that he'll meditate, take a shower or a bath, close his eyes, think of good things, like a strike.
You can see the different approaches that Ricky Ward and Jason Couch take. Jason Couch is a big hook, going way out and coming back in. Ricky Ward much more direct. Right now, that direct route is getting the job done to the tune of every time he's hit the pocket, he's struck. Every time Jason Couch hit the pocket, he's got 9. 22-pin lead for Ricky Ward. Looking to stretch it to 32 with a strike here in the 4th frame.
That's 4 for Ricky Ward. There's a good look at Brentwood Country Club, and we'll come back to Brentwood after this.
Some say winning isn't everything. Some say losing builds character. Some say it's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. Some say statements like these were made up by people who don't use ebonite equipment.
Let's see. Oh, it says you've been seen in the movies.
That should read at the movies.
And you've built models, but never really actually modeled. Well, quite frankly, you the man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Is she my co-star?
Now she is.
Even with a whole new world of toothbrushes, you may not reach the places between teeth where germs live. But Listerine flows into the tiny spaces between teeth to kill germs and help prevent the gum disease gingivitis. Get in there and fight with Listerine.
I finally feel like I'm breaking out of my dad's shadow.
Now, that's great, Brett. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, host of this year's ESPYs. Please join me in sports greats like Bobby Hull's son here. Man, that guy was good. Bobby Hull. Tell you, there'll never be another one like him.
40 years of the PBA Tour, their second year here in Brentwood at the Harvest Park Bowl in Jason Couch.
Well, he simply has to get it started right now, Mike. He's down by 32 pins. He has yet to throw his first strike up on lane 18.
And there it is.
There's a great shot and a little emotion from Jason. He knows it's time to get it started. Brian Purcell, his ball rep, liking that one. Once again, look at the power. See the way the 5-pin gets rifled into that 10-pin? That's a lot of strength. That's right, baby. Give me one of those.
Tell me about ball reps and their relationship to these bowlers.
They're vital, especially in today's game with all the new kind of equipment. The reactive resin equipment can be very, very volatile. You need to have a ball rep who can put the right ball in your hand. Very much like trying to get a NASCAR ready for a race. You have to have it fine-tuned, get the suspension just right. That's what the ball reps do for the players.
So like a crew chief is what you're saying.
They are the crew chief. Very important part of the game. To cut the lead to 22 early in the game, but Mike, almost a must strike. And Jason Couch responds.
And he seems to have some fans here in Brentwood as Ricky Ward comes up in the 5th frame.
This shot is just high flush. Nothing you can say except you'd like to put everyone right there.
Ricky working on 4 strikes now. Bowling on lane 18.
Another great shot from Ricky. Ricky Ward, as I said earlier, not intimidated. His last title came last year in Taylor, Michigan. Who'd he beat? Some kid named Pete Weber.
That's pretty stiff competition. Sixth frame now for Ricky Ward.
Each player allowed 2 re-racks during the game, and Mike, they've both used both their re-racks, and we're only in the 6th frame. No more re-racks allowed. Comes up a little bit high. Leaves a 6-pin. But Ricky Ward in command.
After 5 straight strikes, he'll now try to spare here in the 6th.
Spare in the 6th will keep him up by 31 pins, but Jason Couch has the opportunity to cut that to 11 if he can strike the next 2 shots.
And so the door is open a little bit for Jason Couch, who won his last title in Indianapolis back in 1995. This was your 1992 PBA Rookie of the Year.
And Jason's bowling goals are to compete successfully on tour. I think he needs to raise them a little higher. He's doing that. Oh, yeah, there's one that'll get you pumped up. When you get that power messenger strike like that, I'm telling you, Mike, it energizes you. You can feel it all the way from your feet to your nose. Watch this ball go way left. A lot of power. He slingshots this ball back into the pocket. Messenger tomahawks down the 7-pin. That's a fun way to strike.
Jason Couch to the 7th frame, working on 3 strikes. Trying to get back into the match.
And he's way back in the match. He only trails by 11 pins, and he has really got it going right now.
The PBA Tour begins today. Its 40th anniversary season, and you can get a piece of the action.
If
your game is in the pits, your team feels like the pits, maybe, just maybe, it's the shirts.
1-800-PBA Tour.
Our shirts are the pits.
No problem. Shirts are on their way.
Now it's time to put some color on your team and more fun in your game. It's amazing what a bunch of strikes will do for you. So, now you too can look like a winner and bowl like a pro. Just call 1-800-PBA Tour.
Some say winning isn't everything. Some say losing builds character. Some say it's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. Some say statements like these were made up by people who don't use ebonite equipment.
Renting during the work week? Call Thrifty at 1-800-4CARS. Because Thrifty Car Rental believes business travelers deserve great rates on great cars, too. Other car rental companies advertise low rates on weekends. So do we. But Thrifty also offers this midweek special. Pick up a compact car Sunday through Wednesday and pay just $29.95 a day. Call 1-800-4CARS. It's a good deal, good business, and best of all, it's Thrifty.
The PGA Tour heats up at the TPC of Scottsdale, where last year's winner Steve Jones tries to keep his cool against the Tour's elite and the TPC's wicked mounting bunkers. The Phoenix Open coverage continues today at 4 on ESPN.
Our second match of the day, Ricky Ward. He led by as many as 32. His lead down to just 11 pins as he heads to the 7th frame.
I don't know if Ricky is more concerned about this next shot or watching them do the wave. I guess the wave has been called off by popular demand.
I thought the wave was called off in 1989.
Well, we thought so. His lead down to 11 pins. Oh. Kicks out the 6, but leaves the 8. Now only a 10-pin match. We'll take a look. It looked like a good shot when he let it go, Mike, but it starts hooking a little bit early. Cuts through the heart just a bit. Fortunate to trip out the 6-pin, leaving the very, very simple 8-pin conversion. And no problem for Ricky Ward.
A spare in the 7th. And Ricky Ward moves over to lane 17.
That one looked like a pretty easy match for Ricky, starting out with the first 5. Jason Couch had to throw his first strike to the 4th frame. It's turned out to be a very, very tough match. Up by 10. Virtually the same shot he threw in the previous frame, only this time he knocks the 8 out and leaves the 6. His ball's starting to hook it a little bit higher. He's got to make some kind of an adjustment, whether it be in his speed or moving further to the right on the approach and catching more oil in order to hold the ball in the pocket.
And he picks up the spare in the 8th.
Just barely knocks it down. Don't have to hit too much of it.
And so a chance here for Jason Couch. He's working on 4 strikes in the 8th frame.
Down by 9 pins, and I think the memories of him averaging 186 on this pair are gone. This Delaney's been coming a little bit light in. Another power
Not
shot.
anymore.
When Jason Couch gets it going, he's got as devastating a strike ball as anybody on tour, and he really is a lot of fun to watch. You'll take a look at this shot going over around the 4th arrow, drifting out to about 8 board. Watch the 4 take out that 7, and the reaction of a man who likes what he's doing.
You mentioned his wife, Kelly, and his daughter, Courtney, watching back home. Kelly pregnant with their 2nd child, who's due in August.
Chance to strike in the 9th frame to take the lead, and he
does indeed. Jason Couch. Now up by 11.
Once again, almost a carbon copy of his last shot. You'll watch the ball drift way left, come back, and kick out that 7-pin. As we come back to live action,
Ricky Ward answers with a strike in the ninth.
Ricky Ward with a possible 257 if he strikes out. Jason Couch can shoot 268, so right now Jason Couch in the driver's seat. He cannot be shut out.
Ricky Ward, though, can put some pressure on Mr. Couch.
If Ricky Ward were to strike out and shoot 257, it would force Jason Couch to get 2 strikes in the 10th to win.
He got it.
And there is a possibility of a tie, Mike, and that is one of the things that's changed this year on Pro Bowlers Tour. In the past, a tie was always a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. Not anymore. Right now, it's a one-shot sudden death roll-off. So it's one shot, and if they tie, they do it again. A lot of pressure.
Ricky Ward with his second shot in the 10th frame.
Chance to go up by 9 pins. He trails by 1 before this shot. Bold pocket.
Indeed. Ricky Ward was 3rd in this event last year. He finished 3rd. He's trying to climb the ladder here in 1998.
Just a great shot. The second ball in the 10th. Now, this shot is very important. Right now, if he strikes, it'd be 257. That would force Jason Couch to strike, get 9 and a spare for a tie, or 2 strikes to win. Get them all, Ricky.
He did. Ricky Ward strikes out, finishes with 4 in a row, winds up with a 257. Jason Couch, all the while, was looking down, not watching Ricky Ward throw his 4 strikes.
Well, Jason Couch has 6 shots in a row. What does he do here in the 10th frame? He just tries to copycat what he's done in the 4th through the 9th.
Going for 7 in a row.
Got a hook. He got it. Look at that ball. Absolutely showing zero respect for the pins as he just demolishes them. Watch the way, I just love watching this ball go way out and coming back in. This is going to be a light pocket shot. Get out of the way, Jason. Bang. 9 spare, a tie, a strike on this ball. Jason Couch will move on to bowl against Tom Baker. And if he strikes on this shot, he's going to come out of his shoes. He's really going to be happy.
Second shot in the 10th frame.
Anything less than 9, he loses.
Less than 9.
Did not make a good shot. Ricky Ward sitting on the bench, the recipient of an errant shot by Jason Couch. And what a sad way to finish for Jason. He bowled great, but the second ball in the 10th, a little too fast. Didn't get the proper rotation. It's Ricky Ward to take on Tom Baker in our next match.
What a terrific match. Jason Couch finishing with a 254. Ricky Ward finishing with a 257. And so Ricky Ward will move on to our next match as he watches Jason Couch miss that spare.
Sometimes you can find the future in a corner of your past, even if the future seems a bit imposing. Because sometimes things really haven't changed. They've simply gotten better. And sometimes you find that things that meant a lot to you then can mean a lot to you now. And sometimes you can get something back you thought you might be losing. Bowling at BPAA centers, it's a whole lot more than a game.
Clearview Lanes in Mount Joy.
Do you ever lie awake at night, staring at the stars, wondering about garage doors and openers? Who invented them? Who's built and installed more than anyone? And who would you call if you needed one?
Get a life.
The genuine, the original, overhead door. What else do you need to know?
Back in Brentwood, California, getting ready for match 3 at Harvest Park Bowl. Our first event of the 1998 PBA Tour. And we want to welcome back Brunswick as a sponsor of the Pro Bowlers Tour. And now here is this week's Score More with Brunswick.
With the reactive resin balls of today, we need to look at the lanes in a little bit of a different way. No longer can we make the subtle adjustments of the late 80s and early 90s. Today's balls are much more aggressive, and that facilitates the need to move more dramatically, both on the approach and the lane. It's very important to notice the early warning signs that the lanes may be changing. For instance, if you throw your ball and you leave a 4-pin or a 6-pin for the lefties, that's the key to tell you the lanes are starting to dry up. Don't wait to make your adjustment. Move yourself inside to get into the oil in order to hold the ball into the pocket. Now, another way the lanes are changing, the way we look at them, is looking at the break point. And how do we use this information? Well, it's important to notice where the break point is. One way of noticing the break point is to actually get down low on the approach and take a look at the tracking marks that are left by the previous bowler. If you do this, this information is vital in telling you where you want to get your ball down towards the end of the lane. As you can see, the tracking marks are on both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. You use this information in order to factor yourself in as to what you want to do and how you want to do it. Next, we get the ball. We know where we want to throw it. See, this ball is going over around the 3rd arrow, going out to about 9 board, and then at about 45 to 50 feet, it starts making the break back into the pocket. So to summarize, here are your resin solutions. Watch the rolling pattern of other bowlers that bowl similar to you. Get low and see the tracking marks on the lanes. That can help you also. And don't be tentative when you make your adjustments. That's really the most important thing. You do that, and those will be your resin solutions.
And we're getting set for our 3rd match of the afternoon. Ricky Ward trying to climb the ladder, but that man, Tom Baker, is in his way. And we'll be right back.
I am a classical artist.
I break the laws of
physics.
I am the 5th Beatle.
I am a private citizen
with a public following.
I am a personal friend of Madonna.
I have a thorough grasp of condensity technology.
Men are jealous of me.
Children laugh at me.
Animals trust me.
I cook 3-minute eggs.
In a minute 30.
I have a Brunswick ball
For any lane.
I am a role model.
This has got to be wrong.
What?
Our long distance bill.
That high, huh?
No, that low.
People who use 10321 are doing a double take on their long distance bill.
Must be someone else's.
You save over AT&T on every call in the U.S.
Every call is less, and all the calls over 20 minutes are 50% less.
You just dial 10321, then 1, the area code and number.
And these calls to Mexico are cheap. I could get used to this. Let's call someone.
Okay.
10321.
Oh, your mother.
Please direct your attention to the coin toss.
Gentlemen, this is heads, this is tails. Captain, call it in the air.
For this historic 32nd Super Bowl, the NFL commissioned Al Ford, maker of Super Bowl championship rings, to create the official opening coin for Super Bowl 32. And now you can reserve one of these historic game coins for only $59.95. 75,000 fans will attend the Super Bowl, but only 7,500 game coins can be minted before the mold is destroyed. Each is individually numbered with a signed certificate of authenticity. The coin features the helmets of the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers and is minted with 1 troy ounce of pure silver, overlaid in 24-karat gold. And if you call right now, you'll receive this collector's display case absolutely free. There's only one Super Bowl 32 and only one official game coin. So have your credit card ready and reserve yours now. Sorry, only advance reservations can be honored.
To order, call 1-800-372-1771.
It's the first Grand Slam of the year, and the top seeds are all over it. But a few upstarts are making noise, and down under, anything can happen. The Australian Open. Coverage continues tonight at 10 on ESPN2.
Limited edition lithographs of the PBA's 4 Triple Crown winners are available by calling the PBA Tour, and only 1,000 of these lithographs were printed, and each lithograph features the authentic individual signatures of the PBA's 4 Triple Crown winners: Mike Albee, Billy Hardwick, Johnny Petraglia, and Pete Weber. And for more information, you see the number on your screen. Call 330-836-5568. Back in Brentwood, the third match of the afternoon. Ricky Ward and Tom Baker. And let's take a look at the top 24 qualifiers. Marshall?
Sixth spot, Dennis Horan. Jess Stayrook, the number 7 finisher. Rick Steele-Smith, he won his first singles title last year. It was a major. And Justin Rodak from Andover, Kansas. Mike Edwards and Warren Guernsey, a newcomer, a rookie on our tour, showing well in 11th place. Actually, he was in 5th with a block to go. The great Mike Albee and another rookie, this 1997 Rookie of the Year, amateur-wise, Chris Barnes. Hugh Miller and John Mazza, another couple of southpaws in there. Danny Wiseman and Mike Haugen Jr. having a nice finish this week. Dave Arnold, the quiet player, lets his ball do the talking. And Dave Watka from Las Vegas. Steve Hoskins, he won in Pittsburgh last fall. And the great Ernie Schlegel from Vancouver, USA. Wayne Webb, our karaoke king on tour. Ryan Schaefer in 23rd place. And Brian Smith from my neck of the woods up in Sutherland, Oregon. He's 24th. Steve Wilson, he was your alternate.
Tom Baker on the left, Ricky Ward on the right. Ricky Ward has climbed the ladder.
Now, Mike, during commercial break, you said you liked Tom Baker. I like the way he looks in practice, too, but right now Ricky Ward is very much in command.
And you say there's an advantage to having bowled on these lanes so far today, and Ricky Ward takes advantage there on lane number 17. He opens with a strike.
Well, there's always an advantage for any player who won the previous match. He's, as I said earlier, he's already used to bowling on that pair. Tom Baker has to get used to it right now.
Well, just watching this guy in warm-ups, everything was in the pocket, just like that.
And a little emotion of Tom Baker. Tom and I have been good friends for a long time. We both started our careers back in the 70s, and
his first title came back in 1980, and he's still winning tournaments.
Yeah, he's had a resurgence. His career was in a little bit of trouble a couple of years ago, but he's retooled his game, found out how to use these new balls, and he's very successful. Won 2 times last year. Early double.
Indeed, indeed. Tom Baker, 43 years old, from Buffalo, New York. I asked him what the big difference for him this week was, and he said it's the new hairdo and the earring.
I don't know.
Not too many pro bowlers with earrings.
You know, I shouldn't mention this, Tom, but you are 2 weeks older than me, old man.
Ricky Ward answers.
Once again, we see Ricky Ward not being intimidated by anyone. It's just a credit to his own ability to be confident in his game.
There's a look at that new George Clooney hairdo.
And
Tom Baker.
And with the earring. Pick up.
You know, the pressure is on these guys, but they all seem to have a good time once they get to the championship round.
Well, it's easier as we see Ricky Ward with 3 in a row. It's easier bowling on TV than it is making it. That may sound unusual hearing that from me, but it really is so difficult to make it to the top 5 that once you get on TV, I think you can relax, a little bit. A little, not much. Our statistician, Harry Sellers, he just showed me a little sign that said, "Go Bakes." Bakes is Harry's roommate, so let's see if he can do it.
Indeed.
A great shot on lane 18.
Tom Baker. We mentioned he actually had some pretty good years in the 80s and slumped early in the 90s after wrist surgery. And now he has that new stance where he crouches down just a little bit. And he says the way he's throwing the ball doesn't put as much pressure on that wrist.
He's found something that works for him. The one thing he has never lost was his great enthusiasm to be a professional bowler. As he goes for 4 in a row, that's got to get. That's got to get. I guess it got. What a great break.
4 in a row for Tom Baker.
Let's take a look at this shot. Mike, the ball just doesn't start making its move soon enough, but just barely tickles him over. Something knocks over that 7-pin.
Ricky Ward in the 4th. 4 in a row for Ricky Ward. It's been nothing but strikes so far in our 3rd match of the day.
Ricky looks real nervous, doesn't he?
Baker trying to put the pressure on Ricky Ward, but Ward has survived the pressure already of first making it to the TV finals and then the first 2 matches. We're all even after 4.
If you count the last game, Ricky Ward has 8 strikes in a row.
And that's where the streak stops.
Yeah, the string ends there. Mikey made a real good shot as we see a visual of Tom Baker probably saying thank you. He changes balls, goes hard and straight. A little bit off balance, but no trouble making the 7-pin.
We talked about the difference in some of these balls earlier, but it's the reactive resin ball that will hook a little bit more and more of the plastic that will stay straighter.
Yeah, the reactive resin ball, what it does is it hooks more off the dry and slides more off the wet, and that better hook.
It does.
Tom Baker's having absolutely no trouble right now with 5 in a row. The reactive resins balls, not only do they hook more, but they hit harder once they get to the pins. They save energy until the ball gets to the pins and really unleashes a lot of power.
Tom Baker won at Harrisburg last year, becoming the PBA's 18th millionaire.
Same thing last year, and that's the 4th title.
He got it.
Great shot from Tom Baker as he just barely knocks over that 10-pin.
Talk about a crowd pleaser. Here in Brentwood, they love it. We're coming back.
If your game is in the pits, your team feels like the pits, maybe, just maybe, it's the shirts.
1-800-PBA Tour.
Our shirts are the pits.
No problem. Shirts are on their way.
Now it's time to put some color on your team and more fun in your game. It's amazing what a bunch of strikes will do for you. So, now you too can look like a winner and bowl like a pro. Just call 1-800-PBA Tour.
It's that time of year again, tax season. Are you prepared? Will you file your return with confidence or with crossed fingers? The Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Your Taxes can give you more confidence. And it's yours free with 10 weeks of the journal for just $3.90 a week. The Guide and the Journal. Necessary items during a stormy season. Call now for the Wall Street Journal, 800-356-9800. That's 800-356-9800.
Our 3rd match of the day here in Brentwood. We're seeing a whole lot of strikes, especially from Tom Baker, who is up by 21 pins, having rolled 6 frames. All 6 of those frames, he has rolled a strike. And now Ricky Ward to answer in the 6th.
Well, the messenger came over, but it went in front of the 7-pin, didn't quite knock it down. He'll have to be content to making spare here in the 6th frame and then starting up that string again in the 7th. Right now, 22 pins down as Ricky's a little bit distracted, but the young lady is walking back to her seat, and Ricky picks the ball up and has no problem, makes a spare.
And so Ricky Ward with the spare in the 6th.
That's all part of the game now, Ricky. They're coming at you from every angle.
Ricky Ward was in our first match, and he beat Norm Duke. Moved on up the ladder to Jason Couch, and he knocked him off by 3 pins. And he strikes here in the 7th.
Just to let Tom Baker know he's still around. And, you know, I don't think it's too early to start talking about it right now, Mike.
Well, I didn't know what the jinx rule was.
Don't worry about the jinx.
Tom Baker.
It's $20,000 if he can do exactly what he's done 6 more times for a 300 game. But Tom Baker not thinking about that right now. All he wants to do
Perhaps he is.
Well, he wants to keep the pressure on Ricky Ward. First things first. First you win the match. Then you take care of shooting 300.
7 in a row for Tom Baker.
Watch the 6-10, second from the right. It's the one that does the damage on the 10.
Big game here in Eddie Parker, and you'll have.
He knows it's close. Will it strike?
Well, Parker
Oh,
went
yeah.
250 against the last just 240. And Parker goes 150.
Up by 32. Baker in the 8th on lane 17.
Tom Baker with 8 in a row. Leads by 42 pins. The best that Ricky Ward can shoot, 268. Tom Baker, if he were to go, I don't want to jinx you on this, Tom, but if you went 9 spare, strike spare, you shoot 279. We all know Baker's working on a 300 game. Ricky needs this.
And Ricky got it.
Staying in touch with Tom Baker, only trailing by 32 pins. I mean, what do you have to do, Mike? He's got 4 in a row, a couple of spares, and a double. I mean, that's not too bad a bowling. And he trails by 32 pins.
As if there wasn't enough pressure on Tom Baker, Ricky Ward trying to add just a little bit more.
Well, if Ricky Ward can get the strike here in the 9th frame, it'll put a lot of pressure right back on Tom Baker. Looks good.
Strike in the 9th for Ricky Ward.
You know, maybe this could work in Tom's favor. If he was just strolling along with the front 8 and his opposition wasn't doing anything, he might get a little lax. Right now, he cannot afford to let up at all. Would love to get the strike in the 9th.
He's done it 35 times before.
But
a
never
300 game, but never on TV.
Never on national television. Come on.
He got it.
That may have been his best shot of the game. Very confidently rolled. Now the job for Tom Baker is twofold. As we take a look at this delivery, look how lovely the ball is set down in the lane, goes over about the 6th board, starts making its move about 48 feet. Lovely, lovely, 10 in the pit. If Tom Baker marks in the 10th frame, he wins the match. If he strikes out in the 10th frame, a little bit of a bonus, $20,000. He could lose this match. But remember, in their first match,
Ricky Ward is checking the scoreboard right now.
Well, if Tom Baker makes a spare, if he makes a spare, he wins. This is the same lane that gave Norm Duke trouble. Remember, Norm Duke could not get the ball to get up to pocket. Just a little more adrenaline, a little more speed. He leaves himself a 2-8. If he gets 9, he'll shoot 266, and Ricky Ward would need 2 strikes and 9 to win. Still a tall task for Ricky. But with a spare here, he wins.
Oh, he got
it. Look at that one, baby. He says, okay, I didn't shoot 300, but I'm bowling for that title. What a great conversion for Tom Baker, the veteran player. Veteran players generally better spare shooters. We see Tom switch to a ball that goes a little straighter, plays it over the 3rd arrow, has to get to the left-hand side of the 2-pin, kisses it right into the 10, and he's happy. That'll do it. There's your winner.
Tom Baker defeats Ricky Ward in our 3rd match of the day, and he advances to the final match. Let's watch Tom Baker on that split one more time.
Just enough of the 2-pin to knock it into the 10. And that was your winner. And if you can't react on a shot like this, you've got no blood going through your veins, Bakes. Yeah, he's breathing.
And now he's got a big smile on his face. And standing in the way of Tom Baker
and Ricky
in his
Ward,
first championship, Parker Bohn III. Ricky Ward.
Excuse me, Mike. Ricky Ward's he's going to shoot 268 this game.
And lose.
And he's going to lose. The strike here is 268. Tom Baker shoots 277. And I'll tell you right now, I don't think Tom gives any bit of emotion as to whether he didn't shoot 300 or not. I don't think he cares. He's just happy to win the match. Ricky Ward finishes with 266.
Ricky Ward shoots a terrific 266, but he loses to that man, Tom Baker, who comes through with a 277 and advances to the championship round against Parker Bohn III. 43-year-old Tom Baker will be going for the Brentwood Classic Championship when we come back.
Man, this gray hair makes me look old.
Then do what I did. Get rid of it.
You were gray? I never knew that.
No one can tell you use the remarkable hair coloring called Just for Men. Simply shampoo in, then rinse. In only 5 minutes, this unique Just for Men formula blends away the gray, actually matches your gray to your real color.
Even I can't tell what used to be gray. Thanks.
Just for Men. Looks so natural, even friends can't tell.
So instead of winning the series, they now go to a pivotal Game 7. Rich?
If you're really into sports, you'll really be into new ESPN, the magazine, issue after issue. You'll be involved like no sports magazine ever involved you before.
Do we have a problem here?
ESPN, the magazine, is big. Bigger in size, bigger with news, pictures, player profiles, inside information, and amazing access to places you've never been before. So call now for ESPN, the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth, for just $1 an issue, saving you over 66% off the newsstand price. And you'll get this great freebie.
T-shirt!
The ESPN The Magazine T-shirt. 100% cotton with the world-famous ESPN The Magazine Bullseye logo. ESPN The Magazine. At last, you have something to do when you're not watching ESPN.
Call 1-800-634-6363.
My mind is less fuzzy.
Here's what real people think about Ginkgoba.
Ginkgoba has given me a sharpness and an alertness that I didn't have before.
I felt a remarkable difference.
Talked to my doctor about Ginkgoba. He said, take it, it will help your memory.
Clinical evidence shows the natural supplement Ginkgoba safely increases the flow of oxygen to the brain, sharpening concentration, mental focus, even helping to improve your memory.
Ginkgoba has helped me to think better.
I think Ginkgoba's helped clear my mind. It's just cleared the cobwebs out.
Think better. Think Ginkgoba.
Back in Brentwood, California, getting ready for our first championship match of 1998. You can see in our recap, Ricky Ward winning our first 2 matches, and then Tom Baker defeating Ricky Ward in match number 3, setting up our championship match. Tom Baker, the 2nd seed against our top seed, Parker Bohn III. Don't forget our next few stops on the PBA Tour. Next Sunday will be in Albuquerque for the Albuquerque Open at 1 p.m. Eastern. On February 7th, Walter Ray Williams Jr. will be looking to capture his 2nd consecutive title in Texas at the Columbia 300 Open. And then Sunday, February 15th, Wayne Webb looking for a 3-peat at the 19th annual Peoria Open. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern. And the sign says Parker Power. Parker Bohn III. He was our top seed this week. He's from Jackson, New Jersey.
Very popular player, Parker Bohn. In fact, when you take these 2 players, they've won 6 Steve Nagy awards as far as the sportsmanship award on tour. So nice guys going at it, going to finish first and second.
Oh my.
That was the lane. He came in light on the left of split in the 10th frame. I thought it might affect him as he starts this match. He made sure to get the ball up to the pocket.
And Tom Baker begins our championship match with a strike, and Parker Bohn wants to hear it from the crowd. 34-year-old Parker Bohn III.
Well, he left that 3-6-7 split in practice. Very fortunate to knock down the 3 and the 6, leaving only the 7-pin.
This is a guy who made 13 telecasts without winning and then won 2 in a row.
Well, he's a very consistent player, and he will continue to make a lot of telecasts and giving himself the opportunity to win more and more and more. He's a player that when he winds up his career should have 25 or 30 titles.
And Parker Bohn, you can see he has lost 14 of his last 15 title matches, but he likes it here at Harvest Park Bowl. He qualified 2nd last year. He did lose to John Mazza in the title match.
Trying to put a little pressure on. There's the patented Parker Bohn III strike.
I guess that's what they mean by Parker power. Parker, by the way, is the roommate of Jason Couch, who was our 3rd seed in this tournament. Tom Baker, frame number 2.
And that ball, you could see it down on the lane early. He did not get the extension. He's looking off to the right as if something bothered him, and it very well could have, but watch how early the ball hits the lane, hooks right through the nose. Now he's just got to get 9. That's a big break for Parker Bohn.
Open frame for Tom Baker in the 2nd.
We'll take a look at this first shot of Tom Baker. It just goes right through the heart. It has no chance. It leaves the 4, 6, and 7 pins. Tom's an experienced player. He's going to put that behind him, go back up on lane 17, and try to start striking again. And a great shot. Just barely gets the 9 pin out of the 4-9.
This is a guy who had 9 strikes in a row in our last game, and he started off with a strike here in our championship match, but has to settle for an open frame and now a spare in the 3rd.
As we hear the comments of Dave Smart, the ball rep for Tom Baker, he's saying that was a good shot. That was a good shot. The first one was a little slow. He was light last time. He's not light this time. Now there's the statement right there. Yes, I do want to win. Take a look at the beautiful shot that Parker Bohn throws. Really, just on the left-hand side of the lane, there is no one else, as far as I'm concerned, who throws it with the beauty and the fluidity that Parker Bohn has. He's like a ballet dancer going up the line.
He told me he was pretty good quickly when he took up bowling, and then he got some help from 3 pretty good bowlers who taught him how to do that.
Well, that's what you need to do when you come out in the title match. Show your power early. Talk about the Parker power. Watch where this ball ends up. High flush in the 1-2, and really not much of a chance for anything to stand. Tom Baker finds himself in a 32-pin deficit. That's got to stop hooking. It does.
And so Tom Baker with a strike in the 4th of our championship match. He's talking about Parker Bohn and those 3 bowlers who helped him. You know, he grew up in New Jersey, close to Dave Davis, Johnny Petraglia, and Mark Roth. Some pretty big names, and he said they all helped.
Well, he was very fortunate to have great players like that help him out when he was a youngster. But right now, Tom Baker needs to help himself out, start a doubler.
And he does. Tom Baker with 2 straight strikes.
Ball a little light in the pocket. Fakes mixes them up. Cuts that deficit down to 22. He knows he needs a strike. It's the 5th frame. He has to start now. All right.
So Parker Bohn now in the 5th frame of our championship match.
Working on 3 in a row.
Make it 4.
Well, I've watched Parker bowl on TV many, many times. I bowled against Parker a few times on television, and you know he's a great player, but you don't really know which Parker's going to come to play on what given day. He's had some great performances on television, and he's also had some tough ones. So it looks like the winning Parker could be with us today. Needs to keep his focus right now. He's thrown 4 shots in a row. They've all struck. He knows what he has to do, just needs to keep doing it.
And he does. Parker Bohn III strikes in the 6th. 5 strikes in a row, and he has a 42-pin lead over Tom Baker. Our championship match will continue in a moment.
Now, Sports Illustrated gives you championship excitement you can count on. 1, 2, 3, 4, Give Me 5, the one and only video featuring the best of all 5 Chicago Bulls NBA championships. For the first time ever, all 5, all on one video. Plus, you get this collector's dream, a commemorative Bulls basketball. This sensational Bulls Super Pack is free and only available with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, the magazine that gets you into sports like no one else. Relive those marvelous memories from championships past. To treasure forever the greatness of those teams and their unforgettable heroics.
Third in a row, they are now the triple.
For the first time on one video, get the best of all 5 Bulls NBA championships free from Sports Illustrated. Plus, you get the Bulls Collector's Basketball, commemorating the Bulls' 5 NBA championships. You can't get this limited edition Spalding ball anywhere else. It's the real deal, the official size and weight, so grab it before it's gone. Both these great Bulls collectibles are free with your order of 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 57% off the cover price. For the fastest delivery of your free gifts, use your credit card. Experience the excitement of Sports Illustrated every week. Don't miss a memory.
Let the party begin.
One phone call gets you an unforgettable Bulls Championship Super Pack, the Bulls Give Me 5 Championship Video, and the limited edition commemorative Bulls Basketball, both free from Sports Illustrated. Call now and make sure you get the best. The Champion Bulls and Sports Illustrated. You can't beat it.
Welcome back to Brentwood. We would like to take a moment to welcome Ginkoba as a new sponsor of the Pro Bowlers Tour. Now let's take a look back at today's key moment thus far. The Ginkoba moment of concentration.
And Mike, it came in the 10th frame of the last game. Tom Baker, needing only a mark, left the 2-10 split, was able to think his way through, pick it up, and win the match.
And that's today's Ginkoba moment of concentration. Think better. Think Ginkoba. It has been Parker power so far in our championship match, much to the dismay of this man, Tom Baker. He's down by 42.
Well, you would have almost expected the exact opposite so far this game, but Parker Bohn feeling very much at home on the lanes right now for a triple. Tom Baker, he narrows that deficit to 32 pins, needs to continue on striking. Maybe a little bit of a mental lapse early in the game where he split in the second frame and then wasn't able to get it going until the fourth.
Tom loves alternative music, and he told me that he'll listen to CDs of the group Bush in the car on the way to a bowling match, and he'll think about that in his head and try to get a rhythm. And he's in the rhythm now.
He's right back into this match. Only 22 pins now. Parker Bohn's been sitting on the bench for a while. He lost in the title match right here at Harvest Park Bowl last year to John Moss, as we said earlier.
He only bowled a 156 in that championship match a year ago.
Will it get there? No.
He left the 7.
The match is now very, very much in doubt. 21-pin lead for Parker Bohn. Tom Baker starting to make a surge. But he made a good shot, kept the ball in play. Parker, too, likes to switch balls to shoot his spares. This ball shouldn't hook very much. Hard and straight. One of the best spare shooters on tour.
And the spare in the 7th for Parker Bohn III. Ending his streak of 5 straight strikes. He's got a 21-pin lead coming to the 8th frame.
Parker working on a 239 pace. Tom Baker working at a 218 pace right now, so there's your difference. Boy, does he look good on lane 17. Not so bad on 18, but definitely he likes 17 better. And he chose to finish on that lane. So if Parker can figure out how to strike on lane 18 of the 9th frame, should be his tournament.
But Tom Baker will try to apply at least some pressure here. This is a man who grew up across the street from a bowling center, and that's where he learned to do that.
Great shot for Tom. Tom keeps himself in very good physical health. He works out, watches what he eats. Very much looking after that 43-year-old body. Sorry, Tom, I should have probably mentioned that.
Down by 11.
Strike here, make the lead just 1 pin for Parker Bohn and really put the pressure back on him into having to perform on that right-hand lane.
Tom Baker.
What a great shot from Tom Baker in an extraordinarily tough position. A must shot for him. Do you remember just a couple of frames ago, Parker Bohn was ahead by 42 pins. Now he's ahead by
1. Parker Bohn III from Jackson, New Jersey. He's 34 years old.
And just a little bit high. Leaves the fast 8. The 6-10. The last shot on that lane, he came in just a little bit light. He may have made just a slight adjustment in his delivery. Pretty bad break, not getting a strike there. That was a good shot.
Well, he's bowling much better than he did in the championship match a year ago.
May end up with the same result with the way Tom Baker's going. Right now, Parker Bohn, his chance, 249. Tom Baker can strike out for 258. He cannot be shut out. Puts himself in a pretty good position. That's why it was so important for Parker to strike in the 9th frame. Parker taking a re-rack. This is his last one of the game. Tom knows what's going on. He's just sort of sitting back and relaxing.
This is a guy who lost money his first year on tour, broke even his second, and since then, he's been collecting some big paychecks.
There was a bad shot that he got away with. He knows he stole one there. Ball was down early. Ball was right at his target. Ball got 10 pins.
He rolls a strike.
That could have been
first shot in the 10th frame.
And it could have been the tournament form right there. That ball could have easily been a split. But, you know, when you put yourself in position often enough, you're going to have good breaks and you're going to have bad breaks. And maybe Parker was due one. But I wouldn't try and throw that same shot if I was him.
On lane 17 in our championship match.
Much better shot.
And the 7-pin is still there.
Well, no matter, it really doesn't make any difference what Parker does with this shot right here. If he picks it up 239, if he doesn't 238, he forces Tom Baker to strike at the first ball in the 10th to win this tournament here in Brentwood, California, Harvest Park Bowl.
And so the pressure now on 43-year-old Buffalo, New York native Tom Baker.
A man who qualified 24th. I don't think he expected to be in this position come
qualified 24th. Only 14 men have qualified 24th.
Will it be
and
50?
have won a tournament.
No, it will not. He got slow. Parker Bohn is your win. Parker Bohn is your winner. He got slow. He got careful.
And you can see the reaction from Parker Bohn III, who really had a tremendous week, as did Tom Baker. And a big round of applause for Tom Baker. And for Parker Bohn. Our first champion for 1998 here at the Brentwood Classic is Parker Bohn III. His first title came in Seattle back in 1987, and he wins the first event of 1998.
Pay-per-view brings you face to face with excitement.
Isn't this fun?
Travolta.
I don't care if I live.
Cage.
You're not having any fun, are you, Sean?
The only way to catch this killer is to become him.
You get licking.
white-knuckle action.
What do you say we trade back?
An absolute blast.
Plan B. Let's just kill each other.
There's no resisting face-off. Exciting entertainment is easy to order on pay-per-view.
So, where do you find America's favorite fries? Did somebody say McDonald's? Now get a large order of America's favorite fries with a big bowl taste of the Cheddar Melt sandwich and an ice-cold medium Coke, all for only $2.99. The Cheddar Melt Extra Value Meal. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Did somebody say McDonald's?
People ask me all the time, how do you decide which anchors work together? And to be honest, it's an awkward process.
Dear Larry, want to do the sports together? If yes, check this box. Charlie?
Ultimately, you're looking for a good relationship.
If you're not doing anything later tonight, would you want to do a show with me?
Whoever said all's fair in love and war was probably a broadcaster.
We'll be back with more Sports Center in just a moment.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
The Pro Bowlers Tour on ESPN is brought to you by Ginkoba. Sharpen your concentration with Ginkoba, the natural supplement. Think better, think Ginkoba. And by Brunswick. Line up with the perfect lineup from Brunswick. He was in our championship match a year ago and couldn't finish off John Mazza, but it's better the second time around for Parker Bohn III, the 1998 Brentwood Classic champion. And for our presentation, let's go down to Marshall Holman.
Thank you very much, Mike. Parker, first of all, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Marshall. This is one heck of a way to start the year. I can't say enough right now. It's just unbelievable.
Well, you bowled great. You got a little bit of a break in the 10th frame. What happened to that shot, and what was your thought process?
It wasn't a little bit of a break. That was a very large break. I just knew when I got up in the 10th, I didn't want to throw it slow, and if anything else, I threw it extra firm, and, well, it was a little bit high and tight inside, but fortunately, everything fell.
And another break coming with Tom Baker, unfortunately for Tom, leaving that wide open split in the 10th frame, and he needed a strike to beat you. He didn't do it. Congratulations.
Well, thanks, Marshall. My hat goes off to Tom Baker. You know, he's a great champion, and he had a shot at 300 that first game, so he had one real great week.
All right. Well, let's bring in the mayor of Brentwood for the trophy presentation, John Morrill.
We're sure pleased to have the Bowlers back here in Brentwood again this year, and this is the Northern California Brentwood, the city of Brentwood. We're proud to have you here. We want to have you back, and you guys are just great. Thanks a lot, and congratulations on a great tournament.
Thank you, John. You know, there's two groups of people I want to thank right now. The first group of people is the city of Brentwood. You're the greatest. This is the second time here, and I'll tell you what, it got twice as good as the first. I can't wait for the 10th. The other group of people is Brunswick. Brunswick Corporation, Art, Ray, and Rick. You guys did one heck of a job for me this week. Thanks for getting me here.
Parker, would you like me to bring Jim Longaman in here? He's got a little bit of a check for you. The proprietor here at Harvest Park Bowl.
Great job, Parker. You did a beautiful job. The fans here supported you. How about these fans in Brentwood? Aren't they great?
Fans in Brentwood, you're the best, baby.
All right. Congratulations once again. Parker, last year in this telecast, you shot, I think, about 150, and John Mazza ran over you. Was that going through your mind at all, some of the bad times you've had on television?
Do you know that that's the first time I've thought about that 150 game since I walked in this building today?
Sorry I brought it up. All right. Well, Parker, are you going to be bowling a full schedule this year? I know it's not unusual for you to bowl a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, right now there's no tournaments off in my schedule, so I think I'll be partaking in each and every one of them.
Well, I don't think Parker Bohn can afford to take a week off. He's throwing the ball too good, and you can look for him again on ESPN, I'm sure, very, very soon. All right, Mike, back to you.
All right, Marshall, thank you very much, and a standing ovation for the winner of the 1998 Brentwood Classic, Parker Bohn III. Be sure to join us next Sunday, February 1st, for the Albuquerque Open from Albuquerque, New Mexico. You can catch all of the action right here on ESPN at 1 p.m. Eastern. Coming up next on ESPN, it's the 1997 Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders calendar. For Marshall Holman, I'm Mike Bush, saying so long from Brentwood. We'll see you next week in Albuquerque. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide